Hey guys, Dr. Dale here. Really quick before we start this episode, I want to ask you to support our mission by doing one thing. Just subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast channel, whichever one you listen to. Just hit that subscribe button. The way our podcasts get out there is by you guys liking it, by subscribing, and of course by sharing as well. So if you do one of those things for us right now, we really appreciate it. We work very hard to make these episodes for you guys. We work very hard to get them out for you guys and just to try to uplift the entire community. So if you can help us out by doing one of those things, subscribe, share, or like every time. I really appreciate it. Love you guys.
For the listeners who might be interested in going into dentistry,
Mm-hmm.
what are some key things that you need to do? Because a lot of our usual listeners will probably by now know the things you have to get into med school. Can you just kind of recap that journey to get into dental school?
You just have to know kind of who you are as a person, and then when you talking about from the beginning or kind of like from college, undergrad? Because most people don't know they want to go dentistry school until like college, to the most part.
Yeah, probably more like college. Shadowing. What are some of the key things they should be doing, and how were those experiences for you specifically also?
So what helped me is being that full package. Once you know you want to go in dental school, start doing research on these different schools. So Howard was really big community service based. So me personally, I knew I wanted to go to Howard. So I did a lot of community service based. I was, leading pre-dent program, setting things up. I was going to visit Howard because sometimes it's true, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So these programs, I was a part of the SNDA, Student National Dental Association. And I also have the pre-dent programs at SNDA. So being active in certain things like that, even if you just send emails, be on an email list and being informed, because just like you were saying, they have people paying for MCAT, people are paying for the DAT as well. People are trying to get our people into the dentistry field because I think we're on like 3% in it total. So we need to raise that up. So they really want more people in the field. So they're looking out, trying to get, because as of now, I think when I recently was at Howard, a lot of people aren't applying, to a certain extent. So when you are applying, they want you to get that support.
What you said is you just clicked something in my mind. So in healthcare, we always have, in medicine specifically, we talk about the importance of diversity. What's the importance of diversity in dentistry?
The importance is very important. Like I said, like people are finding me because they never seen a Black dentist before. And I've seen personable. And when they get in the chair, it just takes it to another level because they feel comfortable. Because mostly people don't feel like they're being listened to. That's the main thing here. They don't feel like they're being listened to. So if there are people can see your chair and can listen to their problems, reasons why they don't want to go to dentist, reasons why they're scared, and you just reassure them that you're not going to take advantage of them. You kind of explain what's going on, show them what's going on, and be open with them. Keep it 100 with them, and they will continue to come. I think that's because a lot of people that don't look like us, they'll just go and say, you need this, you just need this. And they don't get the reasons why. They just think they were money hungry because why I need that? Why do I need a crown? Nobody ever told me that before. Why do I need a root canal? Why do I need this? It's not hurting me. But then if you take the time to explain what's going on, show them what's going on, then you build that trust. Once you have that trust, then it goes a long way because some people just don't care because they don't care about certain people. And I've seen that firsthand. So I really think it's important for diversity in dentistry. That's the main reason right there, because more people will come to the dentist once they see more people like them, and you can take care of your people.
Nice. So, Tuskegee, you go off to Howard. Tell me about your time at Howard, the environment, and I say this because you tell me you kind of the guy who did it all, and I know a lot of people I talk to on this podcast say, hey, like med school, dental school, whatever was like some of the most fun time is your life, right? So tell me what it was like out in DC. Tell me what Howard was like. Dental school, what was that like?
So Howard was one of my top choices as well for undergrad. So for me to be able to go to dental school there was like a dream come true. But it was different from undergrad because you are in dental school, which is very stressful. It's a lot, but just like Tuskegee, Howard was one big family. Everybody wasn't competing to be the top of the class. Everybody was helping each other out. So the first year, that transition period from undergrad to dental school was one of the hardest transitions for me. I found a lot of people who, we stayed together, did a lot together, and ended up, after exams, we partied together.
Well, what made it hard? What made the transition hard?
Study habits. Study habits. So say a whole semester of undergrad, you have these basics, well, not basic science, you have these science classes that are difficult there, but you got through it. You made it through. But in dental school, that first week, that whole semester is being taught in that first week of dental school. And then you're going on at that pace. So that transition was a lot. You couldn't just, you're up all night studying to a certain extent, or waking up, just depending on who you are. And you come to find out how you are a learner at the same time. So I had to find a different way to study, because the way I studied in undergrad is different from how I studied in dental school to a certain extent. So that's the main transition, hardest transition for people, is making that transition to studying a different way and test taking, because all our tests were on Mondays. So we study the whole weekend, and we have a big test on Monday, and afterwards we drank and turned up afterwards and got back to it on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was kind of the same way for you, because we were with the med students as well. So we were like, for us to be right next door, a building connected to the med students. You also had the pharmacy school there. You also had OT. You had pretty much everything, all lower years, everything at Howard. So we were one huge family. You just had like your cousins on one side, cousins on the other side. But every weekend it was like a family reunion. All the cousins come together. So that was one great thing about going to Howard, because like all professional students were there, and it was great. We all kind of connected. We all were stressed out. I'm like, are you stressed out? You stressed out? Let's be stressed out together and have fun. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, man. People don't realize, like, to your point exactly. Professional school is stressful. You are, but man, when it's time to have fun, like, you have fun. Like, I'm not anybody who ever drank and all that, so I wasn't going on doing so. But like, even still, like, just the parties and the clubs and even if you're not partying in the club, just going to people's houses, which is probably what I did most of the time. Just people just get together at the houses. Like, it's just so much fun, man. I think it's
Definitely.
because like you're saying, this whole cousin, you have so many like-minded people around you to understand what you understand. And when I didn't go to HBCU, but I went to my wife went to Meharry, so I was at Meharry all the time, right? A lot of my fourth year I was just at Meharry, kind of living there. And when you're around like-minded people who have similar interests to you, man, it's like nothing better than that, man. Nothing better than that.
Definitely. And I appreciate it more now, because I was part of SNDA. I was SNDA, I think vice president. I was pretty much involved. And so that is pretty much an idea, was another program that I did, increasing diversity in dentistry. And you're always around people who want to be in dentistry field, or your mentors, and they all look like you. But now I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I go to these different CE courses, different things, and you don't see anybody like you. So you'd be the only person in there. So now it's like, it's definitely a change, but it makes me appreciate Howard and just give you so much more. I go in the group chat every time I go to a CE course, continuing education, and I'm like, I miss you guys. I took it for granted.
And that's real, and that's something, I mean, we won't get into it, but that's something you always talk about, going from the HBCU to a PWI and things of that sort. That same type of feeling, we're planning on doing a summit in Charlotte. I gotta remember, to get you out there in the summit.
Definitely be a part of that.
Yeah. So then the transition from school to practice, we're talking about, you told me kind of why you ended up moving to Charlotte. Your lady was from Raleigh area and stuff like that, and you came down to Charlotte. So that transition, what does it feel like to go from students to paycheck dentist? What I'm saying? Like the difference. What was that transition like, right? Because you go,
hey, you missing something else in that. I graduated in 2020, so that's the year of the pandemic.
All right, tell us about that.
Man,
you might not be getting very many people in your seat, right? COVID time.
So we're the first to ever experience that. The whole school, pretty much the United States for the most part. Like all the class of 2020. I mean, you guys, we did it. We made it through. But imagine going to spring break, planning on coming back, taking all the boards and everything else, but you just don't come back. We didn't come back. So I was blessed enough. Like I said, I was always a go-getter. So I was blessed enough to finish all my boards, take everything first time, but a lot of my classmates didn't. So I definitely feel it was definitely stressful, because, like I said, my girlfriend at the time, was living in Raleigh. So I think I was just there for like 3 months straight, and we finally ended up taking classes on Zoom, trying to do that route. But at this point, most of our classes were clinical, trying to get all these things. So I was like, I'm glad I was able to finish my requirements, but I know a lot of people didn't because, after spring break, I'm about to go hard, I'm going to have fun now, but go hard, finish all my requirements, do these boards, which the average person does. But so that transition, that was difficult, but I had already signed a contract before pandemic happened. I signed the contract. I was, I had a job lined up. And so seeing as I missed those 3 months of clinical, it took me a little time to transition into seeing patients. So doing that, thank God I was personable. Thank God I had that. And, I stayed at my own pace, and now I'm definitely much better. But when I first started, it was a little transition, but I had some mentors and some people working with me to get me to where I am today. So I definitely appreciate that. But lifestyle is definitely much better. And shout out to Joe Biden extending these student loans.
Oh yeah.
Definitely enjoying much better.
Let me ask you this. You said, you mentioned being personable. I think you said, thank God that you're personable, something to that effect. As a underrepresented minority in the field, such as dentistry, how does being personable benefit you? So if you're a URM Black man, maybe if you're not personable, like talk about that, how important it is to be able to relate to people, right? Like by staying true to yourself, but at the same time know how to relate to other people.
We'll be right back.
My name is Abdullah Hassan Pratt. I'm an emergency medicine physician at the University of Chicago, but I'm also a Black man in a white coat. Not today. Please come out June 4th to our conference. We'll have a lot of beautiful things for you all. If you're interested in medical careers, if you're interested in learning a little bit about ways to improve your community and fight health disparities, my team and I will be leading workshops on dealing with how to save lives, teaching you all what to do in those situations when someone's been shot or is dying. Please come out. There's so much love, so many handouts, and it'll be so instrumental for your future. Take care, everybody.
So what I tell people all the time, I say, you got to read the room. You got to kind of know who you're dealing with, what type of patient. Because when I first started, I was in South Carolina, and I'm not the littlest guy. I'm a Black man. I have facial hair. So we have, stereotypes that was, kind of already put on us before I even walk in the room. So always smiling. My first goal is to always find a way to relate to the patient to make them smile. I look at their shoes, I look at their socks, I pretty much look them up and down and see where I can start a conversation. I look at their keychains, I ask them about their day. I pretty much have a conversation with them before I even ask them about their teeth. So I try and make that relationship, build that relationship, we call it patient rapport, before I even start talking about teeth. And that helps a lot. And some people don't know how to do that. We have, in dental school, we had, a class pretty much, a mock patient where you go and talk to a patient to see, make them comfortable, and you get graded on it. And I always did pretty good at it because at the end of the day, they're a person. I treat them like my auntie, treat them like a family member. I treat them like somebody I'm close to a certain extent, build it. And so once I get there and everybody, they continue to want to come back because, they enjoyed their experience. Maybe if I just did a checkup, didn't have any cavities, I still make that appointment great for them, a great experience. So they'll tell somebody else. And it just, your name starts to get in the community as, he's a personable dentist and really cares about you. And that's true. That's true.
That's huge. That's so huge, man. That again, that's one of the things that can't be overstated, overemphasized is, treating people like people, simply treating somebody like their person. And, goes a long way for a variety of reasons, and one of them being that it just brings you more clientele.
Yeah, because we take time and look at these, we look at a lot of x-rays, look at the teeth in the office sometimes, and look at pictures. But sometimes if you get those x-rays and teeth are connected to an actual person. And that person could be going through things. You can say, oh, we got to take that out. You got to take that out. No, that tooth has to come out. So it's some people just say that, and then patient starts to cry because now you're telling this person who's 26 years old that tooth has to come out. And they're a person, or they need a root canal. They got to spend this money, and they can't afford these things. So now you have to find a way because that's it. They're like I can't say this enough to other people. They're human at the end of the day. You can't just say things and expect them to react a certain way. Every single person will react a different way. Some people say, "Oh, okay, cool." Some people sit there and bawl out, cry, because they didn't know these things, because they didn't go to dentists, because they were scared to go to dentists, because they hear these horror stories about it. Like even on movies, like I always think about Finding Nemo, when they drill on the kid, they're screaming. Sometimes that's the only image people have, is they're in pain the whole time, so they don't go. And they finally go, and sometimes it's too late. So that's why I'm trying to change the image or the perception we have of dentists. So people will come.
Yeah, mine was this might be before your time. There was a movie called Little Shop of Horror. I don't know if you've heard of it or seen it.
I haven't.
If you haven't, you should go watch it. Little Shop of Horror.
It sounds familiar though.
Yeah, it's an old thing, probably out. I was a little kid. It's probably late '80s or early '90s, something like that. And there's this dental stuff throughout this dentist. It's and that was the thing that I always thought about when I was going to the dentist as a kid. That's what used to freak me out, Little Shop of Horror. But eventually got over it. I want to do some kind of fun things here. Kind of maybe some quick hitters. Just ask you random stuff, just for fun. First one I will say is, if you were a hip hop artist that you have to relate to, like who do you relate to the most as a hip hop artist? If you say I am this hip hop artist, who would that be? Oof. And why?
Dang.
Yeah, it's like that.
I don't. Busta Rhymes.
Bust. Tell me about why.
That man was so fun, like out of control. He always seemed like a good time, outgoing. I always liked Busta Rhymes. Maybe not to lyrics to a certain extent, but just the personality-wise, I think he was so cool.
To your point, though, the spontaneity, that's spontaneous. I can see that.
Like his music videos, he was just always so exciting and entertaining. So
I can definitely see that. I get that. I get it. All right. If you were, this is gonna be random, but if you were a piece of clothing, what would it be and why?
A piece of clothing. Ooh.
I had a fashion connoisseur on the show recently. So I thought about it when I was looking at his dress, because he was all about fashion. He's telling me about his clothes. So I'm like, everybody's got an identity with something. Like what piece of clothing would you be and why?
Man, I'll say probably a pair of pants. You can't really leave without them. You can, have a shirt off. You can have shoes off, but you need those pair of pants. I feel like that's the most important clothing. Pants or shorts, and they don't fit. They have to be a perfect fit, comfortable. I just feel like a pair of pants is if I had to say an answer, that'll be my answer.
That's actually really thoughtful. You can't go without it. And when I was thinking about it for myself, I think about an undershirt, right? Because like kind of the staple of your outfit. You can mix stuff, do different things with it. But key point though, you can't go anywhere without a pair of pants. You're right. So
you can go out a tie. I got a jacket. I have a little, do other certain things. But you're gonna have a pair of pants. You might not can see it now. I got sweatpants under this.
There you go. If you weren't a dentist, what field would you have gone into? What would you want to be? If you be anything in the world.
Probably real estate. My parents did wonderful things in real estate. My brother, he does a lot of commercial real estate, renovations, different things. So I think that would be something else. I still want to do things like that. Dentistry field, the career, pretty much can do as much or as little as you want. So it's open to doing more other things, even a drive or go to do other things. The dentistry field allows you to do that. So eventually I do want to do more, in the real estate field, not commercial real estate, but renovations, certain things like that.
Get your own TV show on Home and Garden Network.
Man, Amber, my fiance, she loves HGTV. So when we bought our house, we're doing a lot of different things around here. So it's kind of exciting, that journey.
Papa John's or Pizza Hut?
Papa John's.
Why?
Man, because I was part of the football team, and I was part of all these little teams or whatever. So we had these little cards. So it was always buy one, get one free. And so growing up, we always had Papa John's on the team, because we always said we had to buy one, get one card. And I had an older brother who ate a lot as well. So we always needed them too.
Papa John's fed the family. I shouldn't be talking about Papa John's, man. It's not like they sponsor me and give me a check or anything. I shouldn't have said that. Shout out to Papa John's. If y'all want to sponsor Black Men and White Coats, Papa John's, send us a check, man. All All right, so I'll give you the last word here. Only thing I would ask is that you end it with, and I'm a black man in the white coat. But I'll give you the last word for the viewers, the fans, the audience. You know, what do they need to hear from you, or what do you want them to hear from you?
I say that if you are interested in dentistry field, or if you are interested in anything, it doesn't matter if you're not dentistry field or not. Find something that you enjoy, and if it's into a career, shadow that person. I feel like shadow anybody. I feel like anybody will want to bring somebody on that's interested in their career to bring you in for them to have them shadow you. That was one of the biggest things for me to figure out, see what I want my life to be. I knew I want to be a dentist just because I shadowed a lot of people. And if you don't want to be it, it's still early enough for you to find something else. You don't want to go into that, do all these different schooling. It does get super expensive. Student loan debt is real. And it will suck that you get into this career that you like, oh, I really don't like it this much. It's not my personality, it's something else. So my main thing is for you to shadow somebody, and then you get to where you want to be. And I am a black man in a white coat.
I want them band like a daddy, yeah. Only do it like Flagger, yeah. I'm kicking flavor, no saga, yeah. Hey, I like them blues. I might go Janet like Jackson. I got them options, yeah. It's all about progression. Life is like a blessing. Everything a win, loss is like a lesson. Ooh, ooh.